Hey, someone sent me Buzz Rossfield's number. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of THA Sports as we're coming up to arguably the greatest weekend in Rugby League calendar. Magic Round here in Brisbane. Absolutely super stoked, keen for it. Welcome everyone. If you have been here before, you know what you're in for. Find all the timestamps. Listen to what you'd like. If you are new here, this is where I chat a little bit of shit about rugby league, bit of sports, whatever I'm feeling essentially. Go suss out all the socials. Appreciate all the support on there, but we might as well jump straight into it. So like I said, Magic Round on this weekend kicks off, I suppose, like mini little trinkle, little sprinkle of rugby league on the Thursday night with the second game of the Women's State of Origin. But Friday, she kicks off. Everything is going to be flying here in Brisbane, particularly on Caxton Street, is just going to be insane. I'm actually not too far away from it. For me, it's basically like essentially probably 15-20 minutes down the road, which that might seem like it's far away for some, but in Brisbane that's not too bad at all. So absolutely stoked. Going to be there all 3 days. So many different events on. So yeah, obviously I don't exactly have a massive event going on or anything like that, but on Sunday there is an event that I will be attending. I'm on the set list. I'm on the sheet. I'm on the event, baby. Won't be running it. Won't necessarily be, going up and presenting or anything like that. But we've got the Podcast Recovery Royale. That is at Caxton Street Brewing Co. Sunday. I believe it's from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. I'll chuck the link in the bio. Tickets might already be sold out. I'm not 100% sure, but some absolute legends are running that. Joel from League of Inches, Retro Rugby League, and the Knighted. They're the boys that are absolutely fronting it up. But there's like 15, 20 of us content creators that are going there. Some really, really big ones. So if you are free, grab a ticket, get around, and I believe that includes a drink. And it's just going to be a great amount of fun. Just a lot of yarns. I believe a couple of ex-players are going. Videographers are there. The works. Basically, everything's going on. The Caxton Brewing Co. as well is just an awesome spot. So, yeah, do get along to it. But I'm frothing at the mouth for this weekend. Bit of golf, bit of rugby league, bit of events, couple of beers, couple of darts, you name it, is going to be happening. And I'm just, again, I've said it for fucking 5th time already. Pumped for it. It really can't happen anywhere else. Like, you couldn't have this sort of thing in Sydney. The grounds just don't facilitate it at all. There's no place where you just have that absolute mecca of pubs, strippers, restaurants, kebab stores, you name it. It's all there on Caxton Street, which is a stone throw from Suncorp for those of you who have been. I think this is the second year in a row that I've been going for every single day. I'd like to say probably to most of them, but this is only the second time for all of the days. Most of the time it's just go see the Broncos or go for a day because tickets would just fly out the door. But last couple of years, committed to it, absolutely get around it. So yeah, very, very keen. But yeah, again, if you're free, make it to the event. If you're not, well, you miss out. What can I say? Now, one thing you might notice, I am wearing a special little shirt, this THA Sports, essentially a one-of-one little shirt, bit of merch that I made up for myself. Well, I don't know if that's lame or not, but either way, made it up for Magic Round. It does have a cool Magic Round design that I made on the back of it. So pretty much, yeah, if you do see me at Magic Round, come up, say hey, have a yarn. That's all sweet. There is a QR code on the back of the shirt though. So if you're standing behind me waiting for a beer, you're waiting for a gold, and you see the QR code, and this particularly goes out to the Brisbane Broncos fans, who I know there's a lot of you out there, or Canberra Raiders supporters. That might give it away a little bit. But if you do get the opportunity, if you do see me, you do see this shirt, give the QR code a scan for a nice little something that might be on the other side of it. I'm going to be flat out like a lizard drinking, basically. And that goes for just in general business, but also gold, I dare say. But yeah, great time. Moving on. Luke Metcalf apparently is asking to 50 in the house bounce away from the Warriors at this stage, which I was really taken aback from, really surprised. Like, he really seemed like he was the future going forward there with the number 7 jersey in the halves after Shawnee Johnson hung it up a couple of years ago. Got injured, ACL, like just terrible, unlucky sort of stuff that's happened to him. And then out of nowhere, popped up bloody Tanner Boyd, went, yeah, I'm actually playing pretty good rugby league. So I don't know all the dynamics, so don't shoot me down, Warriors fans, but that's a little bit upsetting. He just really suits that Warriors jersey, but it looks like from 2027, unless, something drastic changes, Lukey Metcalf is going to be probably coming back over the ditch, I assume, in this case, unless he goes off somewhere random. Now, there's potentially a few teams that could come knocking for him. I don't see him going to the Bears at this stage. That'd be an unreal pickup. But you've already got Sexy Sexton, and Tyron Wishart. So I can't see him being like second fiddle to those guys. Like, they're very good, but I'd probably put Luke Metcalf maybe a little bit higher. But there's a couple of clubs that would definitely need him. One of them that screams out, I can't see him snagging it because they got some good youngsters coming through. The Dragons, they need him now, but you couldn't do that to poor Luke Metcalf. A team, Tigers, people have been throwing up the Tigers. I believe the Bulldogs are supposedly linked with him. Again, it's just like, bro, you fucking could have done with him a while ago. Now all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, we need a half. Manly Seagulls. Is there a world that I believe that's where he started off or got his debut. Is there a world that he actually goes back to Manly? Because you've obviously got Walshy coming through, young Joey Walsh, who I'll get to him a little bit later, but future of the club as long as they can tie him down. You got Lukey Brooks there. How long is he going to be sticking around for? Luke Metcalf had a look. He's 27, probably 28 years this year. So he's got many good years ahead of him, particularly as a half. I think he's more of a 6 than he is a 7, particularly running. Again, I don't know shit, so shoot me down on that one. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But bit surprising that he's going to be leaving the Warriors. Alrighty, now we're so close as well. We're so close to State of Origin. I wanted to go through, a rough idea of what I think the team is going to be / who I would pick if I was the coach. Luckily, I'm not because I just cloned like 13 Reece Walsh and put them in. But this is pretty much what I've got. I've seen a few ideas of this floating around. Now, shout out to Jason Tomalolo because I really, really wanted Big JCT to be in this team. I thought he was eligible. There was so much talk when the eligibility rules changed, but I think he was here a little bit too late. I know he's a little bit long in the tooth, as some would say, but he would be an absolute wrecking ball in State of Origin. Like, tired forwards, 30 or so minutes in, 20 or so minutes in. Bring Jason Taumalolo on for like a good 20, 30-minute stint to just destroy people. He would wreak havoc, but unfortunately, not possible. I saw that Queensland, they had a cool announcement the other day that Ben Teo is going to be the assistant coach. Obviously, with Josh Hannay off doing his stuff with the Titans, not really going to be a thing for him anymore. But Ben Teo is kind of all up in the air, like, well, where's he going to land? Everyone knew he was eventually going to go somewhere. He's a very sought-after coach. And Queensland, Billy just went yoink, thank you very much. So I thought he would have been announced as the defensive coach. He might cover that side a little bit more. It seems to be his area of expertise. But assistant coach is a great way for him to basically start in. But we obviously get the team list just after Magic Round, generally on some of them even drop Sunday, but it should be on the Monday, I think, a lot of the time that we'll get the official Queensland first game team list. Now, there has been a little bit of a spanner in the fucking works thanks to the Eels the other night decided to hurt our boy Tommy Dearden. Hate to see it. I love Tommy Dearden so much. Absolute gun. Built for Origin. The dude is a big game player and then some, but he's going to be out, syndesmosis for like 6 to 8 weeks or however long. Like, definitely out for the first game, but who knows how long it's going to be. Like, he could be out for the entire series, which is just terrible. Like, Tommy's the guy you need in that team. A big moment comes up, Tommy's going to be the one zipping through the line, show and go, see you later. But we move onwards and upwards. So there's a few options. People are throwing around a lot of different halves, but we'll get into what I've got, yeah? All right, so, and again, this is what I would select. It's not going to be perfect, each to their own. And I'm not even going to do New South Wales because I don't care. They're going to lose anyway. Who gives a fuck? All right, at number 1. And this one, honestly, I feel like is a little bit of a flip of the coin, but you cannot look past it. It's got to be Reece Walsh in there. Yes, maybe not hitting the strides that he did towards the end of last season, but he's like on his day, best player in the game. Can do freaky stuff that just about nobody else can. You want Reece Lightning in there, your Australian fullback. Now, on the wing, this is a little bit tricky because we've got a few injuries, your coat's injured, so on and so forth. So one of these positions I'm going to give to Hamasai Tabuai-Fidel, because I want to put somebody else in the centres, which I'll get to in a second, and that person is Purdue. I feel like he's had a hell of a year so far. He's got so much talent, so much potential. Could be an absolute gun in this sort of thing. Might be a little bit green, but he's big, he's fast, he's strong. Somebody's got to make a little bit of way for him. I would put him out there on the wing, but I feel like the Hammer could cover it a little bit better, just a little bit more experience. Robbie Toya there in the other centre position. I feel like he did a brilliant job last year and can see him doing the same thing this year. Murray Talangi, pending his fitness, I'm pretty sure he should be okay. I think it was a head knock that he had the other week or whatever was going on with him. Again, gun and attack, good defender, happy days with him. Some of these positions pick themselves, one of them being Cameron Munster. Obviously, he's going to be a 6. All the talk throughout the year being like, oh, maybe it's going to be Ezra Mam and all this. Shut up. As much as I love Ezra Mam, that is not going to be changing. He's going to be keeping that position. Well, I suppose you'd say that about DC until he got dropped, but yeah, he's keeping that. He's our captain. He's leading us forward. Now, in the 7, there's a lot of talk over Tanner Boyd. I'm going to go Sammy Walker in this one. I feel like he is eventually going to be the future 7 in this team, probably sooner rather than later, obviously with Tommy Dearden being out for the next couple of weeks or potentially a couple of games, but Sammy Walker can jump in there. Now, I like going big, aggressive. You need a few big dogs in there in the forward pack, obviously. Lindsay Collins, the bloke jumps over fullbacks, picks himself. Happy day. Space Jam monster, get in there, son. Big Tino Fasor Malawi, perfect. Big Tino hasn't exactly been like record breaking this season, sure. Last couple games, I feel like he's starting to, find his stride, but there was that series that we lost in 24 and that Tino was out with the ACL. Day and night not having him there. Like, you need Tino revving up the troops. Harry Grant, again, picks himself. Happy days. Like, Reed Mahoney could be in there, maybe. But, yeah, Harry's the guy. Now, this is where it's going to, I'd say, like, differ largely in a lot of teams. I'm going with Fine Fuiaki in the back row, paired with a Helam Lukey. Now, I was having a look at Ruben Cotter, but I feel like Ruben Cotter is a dude that can potentially play the lock. He can play in the front row, where these guys are more so specialist back rowers, and they have been on fire. It's a real shame that Tommy Dearden's not there. I'd straight up just have him and Lukey next to each other because that connection would be sick. 13, Paddy Carrigan. You can't go with Paddy the Painter. Done. Sorted. Again, this is just my choices, but 14, I've actually got Max Plath. I feel like eventually he's going to be the future for Queensland as well. He's been playing pretty well, very versatile, that kind of Kurt Mann role, which Kurt Mann, I think he's injured or something going on with him, head clash, whatever it is, but doggies, not great. Ruben Cotter, have to have him in there again, versatile, junkyard dog, another one, because you just need a psycho in there, someone to rev him up. Corey Horsburgh, I love Big Red in there. Get him in there. Kalen Ponga, again, an obvious one. You really need Kalen Ponga in there. There's a lot of talk of him potentially playing halves, but he can sub in fullback if Reece. If something happens to Reece, what's that? Here's Kalen Ponga. He can come on kind of roaming around. Shibasaki. I'm going to go with Shibasaki. Now I'm actually contemplating whether or not Shibasaki should be... Now, mind you, I've got him at 18, so this is just extended sort of stuff. This is with the thought process of, okay, a winger goes down, a centre goes down. There's not really... Yes, you could put Kalen Ponga out there, but do you want to waste him in that position? You probably want someone a little bit more specialised. So if he's on the extended bench, can't hurt anything. If anything happens, bang, in he comes. And then as well, another psych on the front row with Tommy Flegler. He's been out because of injury. It'd be rude not to put him back in there again. Has he had the most crazy season in his first season back? Yeah, it's been decent, but, another player that no doubt once he pulls on that, the banana farmer fully comes at him and he's going to be throwing him. So that is my Queensland side. That's 1 through to 19. I'd like to see, how right, how wrong I am. Let me know. Let me know if I missed anybody, who you'd change, what's going on there. But that's just my selections for it, so don't shoot the messenger. All right, we might as well get on to, what was it, a round 10? Round 10 recap, yeah? Round 10. Yeah, around 10. All right. Wasn't a terrible week for me. Went 6 for 8. I promised 8 for 8. Didn't do it. But we'll kind of skim through some of these. Some I watch more than others. Some that I watch more in depth than others. You know how it goes. But what was it? Thursday night. Woeful start for the Finns. The Finns were not looking good at home. I was a little bit worried that the doggies were able to run them down. They kept in it probably for like that first 15, 20 minutes. And then they just went insane. Like they just went mongrel after that. Yeah, the doggies attack. They were starting to look all right, actually, because what did they have? They had O'Sullivan in there. They were looking like they're straightening up a little bit, had a little bit about them. And then it just didn't work out. And then Azarka said, boys, jump on my back. I'm just going to score tries galore, kick goals all day, every day. What did he get? 4? However many tries? Was it a hat-trick? Was it 4? I forgot. Like, literally, did somebody in the Bulldogs piss off Jermaine Azarka? Because he took that shit personally. He went out there and put on bulk tries, bulk points, and just ran a train on him. It was ridiculous. What a performance from him. But yeah, doggies got plundered. Roosters, they pretty much did what they were meant to do in this case, like going out there and pumping the Titans. There was a little bit there being like, Titans are hanging in this for a little bit. And in my brain, I'm like, watch the Roosters go out and lose to the Titans. Like they've got that written all over them, as well as Titans like just having that ability to pull one out of their ass when they need it. I'm a little bit scared that James Tedesco is in absolute screaming red-hot form. Like, I would be baffled. I would be blown away if he wasn't picked as the New South Wales fullback. Like, it makes all the sense in the world. Then you got my selected Queensland centre, Robbie Toya, going out there and scoring very suspect try. So the internet absolutely blew up after this try was allowed. It instantly looks super sus. If you really slow it down, you're like, yeah, there's a bit of connection with the forearm, but everyone's basically like, yeah, that's ridiculous. I'm not sure how true it was, but supposedly the NRL came out like the day after being like, yeah, it probably wasn't a try. It did scream a little bit of brown paper bags, Sydney Roosters sort of stuff allowing that, because it did look very, very, very suspect. The amount of reactions and this, that, and everything coming out of it was wild. This next game hurt my soul. Cowboys losing to Parramatta Eels in one of the most bizarre golden point games, or at least bizarre finishes to a game that I've seen in a long time. So Cowboys, they should have won this one. There was various points they were ahead and just kind of let it go. Tommy did and got hurt. What an absolute trooper for him staying out there as long as he did. Blake was literally limping around all over the place and had no one to sub with, had to stay out there until the regulation time finished and he could actually go off the field. But I feel like they should have slotted this one. They're in a few spots where they would have had the opportunity, drop balls, mistakes, all sorts of stuff, cost them the game. But then Mitchy Moses goes through, slots the field goal, wins the game for Parramatta. Should be all cheers, celebrations. Nah, what's he doing? He's up the ref. He's complaining to the ref. Someone ends up then with a penalty, essentially allowing him to kick for 3 points all up, including the field goal. Really, really bizarre stuff. But it's like, bro, just celebrate with your team. Why are you complaining so much? You won the game. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Genuinely, what a sook. I try to like him, and it's hard from what I see out on the field, and this is purely based out on the field. Sure, he's a good bloke and whatever, but it's like, fuck, bro, you're a punish to watch. Alrighty, moving on. Knights, they absolutely fist the Dragons. We all saw this coming, but I didn't realise how bad it was going to be. The Knights literally looked like the greatest attacking side to face, the greatest attacking side to walk this planet ever, honestly. Dragons fans, they are in shambles. Coming off the bye, maybe there was a little bit of hope. Maybe they'd gone out for a big piss up. Maybe they've come together as a team. Nah. Yeah, obviously, KP needs to be in that squad somewhere for Queensland. He definitely will be. It's just going to be, is he going to be at 1, 14, 7? He's got to slot in somewhere. And then you got Greggy Margie, old Greg. He's gone out and scored himself 5 tries, collecting that shit like they're Infinity Stones. He had an unreal game. It was just cheat code going down that left side to him every single time. Every time he got the ball, you're like, oh, well, there's another try for Greg Margie. It was just a ridiculous performance. Not great for the price of eggs, I can tell you that much, but that's one thing, I'll never change my tips after I've selected them, especially once I've put them out online. There's no going back after that, and I'll always back in my work, and it paid off this time, obviously. So, but I was starting to get a little bit worried. I was like, oh, look, if there's going to be one that's going to go down, it's going to be this one against the Sharks. But full strength team of theirs, their third game to win in a row, which would allow me to then select him in other games, didn't happen. So, look, just not going to happen at all. All right, I'd prefer not to almost talk about this one, but we will have a little look-see. Broncos losing to Manly Seagulls, and probably one of the worst watches as a Broncos fan that I've seen in a good part of a year, I'd say. Probably since the last time we lost to them. Now, you can look at this one or two ways. Maybe the Broncos did this on purpose. It's Jakey's, 250th game. Good guy, Jake. Thumbs up, Jake. And they said, look, we're just going to let him have it. We're going to keep Jake Trbojevic happy. We're going to let him get a W in his 250th, or even better yet, and I believe the Carter Boys put out a video about it. Essentially, this time last year, we lost by the same margin, same win-loss record. Then we've gone out, had a big night on the piss, barely lost a game for the rest of the season and became premiers. So maybe there's a little bit of method to the madness here, but yeah, it was not a fun game at all. And all props to Manly, they played unreal. They shut down the Broncos, didn't really allow anything to get started at all. Just had no go for it, but also just didn't have the fucking ball at all. We just had zero possession. Now, you can go on and say, oh, we're missing these people, we're missing that, whatever else. We still had a pretty good squad. I do think Ben Hunt probably looked a little bit underdone, coming back from that injury. Maybe he came back a little bit too soon. I'm no physio, I'm no doctor. If I was, I'd get paid a lot more money. And I'm not Ben Hunt. I don't know how that knee feels. Maybe it heals really quickly. I'm not too sure. But, just didn't look 100%. Now, Broncos lose. I think everyone, all the fans knew that this was going to happen at some points given the amount of outs. We are definitely missing, I think, those big boppers in the middle there. Payne Haas obviously is a huge one, but no Corey Jensen. Missing your starting props is just not ideal, particularly when you're coming up like in the last 2 weeks against other teams that have big boy props. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is in that case. Joey Walsh on debut for Manly, I thought he played really, really well. The fucking 40-20 that he got, I just remember sitting there going, you cheeky little bastard. And I mean that in the greatest way possible. He played unreal. With the Broncos losing these games, like, I don't mind if we win or lose. Obviously, you want to win. That's what you want. But the thing that shits me watching is the drop balls, the 6 agains, the penalties. It's all that sort of stuff that just makes it a rough watch. Like, if we don't have all that, we play really hard, but we lose, like, whatever. Even if we get pumped, but when that happens, it is quite disappointing. So I can imagine we're going to get a big bounce back this week, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, just what do you do? Now, Melbourne Storm, they started out hot, actually played some attacking footy, went out there and pumped the Tigers. They looked a little bit like Melbourne Storm of old, and I'm so glad that I got behind them. I just knew it was coming. It was inevitable. Hopefully that gives them a little bit more confidence moving forward. Everything seems a little bit more right in the world that the Melbourne Storm have actually got a dub, because seeing them lose, 7 or 8 weeks, how many weeks in a row, was just starting to get sad. It was just, I don't know, you just got to the point where it's like, oh, this is not even fun anymore, kind of having a joke and a laugh at them. This is getting brutal for them. So it's nice to see them actually get it done, get a bit of confidence back. And then the last one, I didn't really get to catch all of this, but I was keeping a bit of an eye on the live score. Very much anyone's game there for a period of time up until about halftime. But after that, Nathan Cleary masterclass, see you later. Up the rift. They get it done over the Canberra Raiders. So, Mr. Sungy got injured, which hurts me. Dude has been an absolute gun. AC joint, I'd like to say. So, hopefully it's not too bad and they can needle it. But they seem to just be really niggly, annoying injuries where it's like, yeah, they can needle it, but you're not quite 100%. Like, I think there's been a few players like Stephen Crichton playing through them. But, yeah, not great for Supercoach, but hopefully he heals up and goes again from there. But yeah, Penrith, like, what do you do? Alrighty, now we move on to the Magic Round tips and predictions. Now, no Thursday night game, which is good. That means Thursday night scaries don't count, but I'm going a little bit rogue on this first game. I'm not going to lie. This one is Sharks Doggies. And if you've been listening for any amount of time, you know what I'm about to say. I'm going with the Bulldogs. I'm going with them 1-12. Sharks haven't won 3 games, and I just don't have faith in them at this stage. So I'm going to have to back the Dogs in big time in this one. Now, have the Doggies been playing amazing? Absolutely not. But I don't know. There's some big outs for the Sharks this week. I think Blake Brayley's out. Cam McGuinness is out. I think Doggies may even have returning people. Burton coming back in. I don't know. I looked at the team list and I'm like, you know what? I don't hate this. I've seen a billion Dogs fans coming out this week and having like a massive complaint, being like, the team hasn't changed. Like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, no, I've actually got faith this week. Maybe it's me being delusional and maybe it's my hatred for the Sharks. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I feel like those outs are going to make a difference, particularly all the media surrounding the Bulldogs players. Like, they're going to see it on social media. They're going to see it in traditional media. It's like all over the place, questioning them, the coach, like every little thing involved with it. So if there's a time for them to stand up in front of the Rugby League world, it is going to be at Magic Round and putting the fucking Sharks to the sword. So I want to see it. Give it to me. I might have lost the plot. Who knows? And I'm going to go with Connor Tracy to score anytime. All right, what do we got next? Rabbithos versus Fins Up. I'm going Bunnies 1-12. So I was hoping there might have been a little bit of a double Latrell situation in this one, but Sigwald does drop out for this one for Latrell Mitchell. Big Trelly belly coming back in, baby. I'm actually a little bit surprised that the Dolphins are favourites in this one. I can appreciate it is their home ground, but... And, you know, they've been playing well. They went out there, they dusted the Dogs last week, but you're coming up against a red-hot Bunny side with some troops out last week that fucking gave it to the Sharks. So they're a team that can score a ridiculous amount of tries. Now, in saying that, their big old try scorer and Alex Johnson's not in there, but whoever's basically on that left side, if Trell's feeding your ball, you're going to be scoring tries. Like, I reckon I could just about go out there and I'd score a meat pie if Trell's given service. And again, I liked what Ashton Ward brought to the side last week. I love that he's back in there this week. I feel like they could actually put a job on Dolphins. I don't know. The Dolphins are a little bit funny. They seem to start out slow. To be fair, so are the Bunnies, but it's just like, yeah, if the Bunnies get one on you, you might not be able to bring it back. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting, but particularly see where Latrell's at. If he's at 100%, yeah, they might be cooked. Could end up a little bit of a shootout. I'm excited for this one, and I am going to go with Latrell Mitchell anytime. Moving on, Tigers versus Manly. Sorry, Tigers fans. Manly 13 plus. It hurts me a little bit. I kind of wanted to hate watch Death Ride, however you want to put it. Manly, after they beat the Brisbane Broncos last week, a nice little revenge tip because it has worked for me previously. But I just don't think that the Tigers, with the team that they've got at the moment, are going to be able to pull it off. Like, if they had a full squad, I'd be a lot more on board. I'd be jumping on the Tigers on this one. Bit of Buller, Api, Coruscant, all those guys in there. But because they're not, look, it's going to be hard to stop Manly. Like, most teams wouldn't want to be playing Manly at this time. They're looking terrifying. And every single time I see Kieran Foran, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot he's retired, that he's not a player. Like, he just looks like he's about to run out with the boys and go play. Like, you don't look at Kieran Foran and go, oh yeah, he's a coach of a rugby league team. So yeah, Fosball is in full swing at this stage, and I feel like, again, hard to stop, and I'm going to go with Kohler anytime. I believe, where's he playing? Is he back in the centres? They had Clayton, whatever, the other day. Clayton Falolo. Yeah, so Tolu Kohler back in centres. Yeah, he's scoring, baby. He's scoring, maybe even 2. Roosters versus Cowboys. I'm going Roosters 1-12. The Roosters, again, they have looked a little bit shaky. They're up there on the ladder, but I still doubt them. I feel like they're just not made of it to go all the way. But without Tommy Dearden there for the Cowboys, that is turning into mission impossible. I feel like, what did I say, 1-12? I'm almost leaning towards 13 plus. The only reason that I'm not is the ability of the Cows to actually go and score points. They should be able to comfortably win this, though, the Roosters. Like, you would think. But at the same time, I feel like they're another one of those teams that will lose games that they're meant to win. But again, you've got Teddy there in just all-time form right before Origin selection. Like, he's 9 toes over the finish line at this stage. He just needs that last little push. So I can see him having another world in this one, unless someone like Scotty Drinkwater has something to say about it. But yeah, I feel like there's only going to be so much they can do about it, and I will go with Teddy to score any time. Right, what do we got? Eels versus Storm. Yes. And the Storm have gone out there and absolutely fisted them in multiple occasions. So if there's a team that wants revenge over the Storm, Eels is probably number 1 on the list. I know they've done bad things to a lot of other teams, other clubs, but the Eels have had it really, really rough. So, if there's a time for revenge, it's going to be now. But the Storm just seem to have their number. Obviously, Rousey used to be under Bellyache as well, so they kind of know what's going on there. I almost want to pick Eels, but I will stick with Storm. I will go with them 1-12, particularly with all the Queensland boys. And I'm counting Jerome Hughes in this one because he would be eligible. But Hughesy, Munster, his name's escaping me, fucking Harry Grant, they're all just peaking at the right time going into Origin. And I think a lot of New South Wales fans last week were like, oh, that's not good. These boys are starting to play really well. So, and I'm going to go with Harry Grant to score anytime. Titans versus the Knights. I'm going Knights 13 plus. The Titans, they actually might be fucked in this one. Similar to what I said with the Knights playing the Dragons last week. I feel like if they're anything like they have been in the last few weeks, get that attack going, Kalen Ponga absolutely humming, they're going to put a cricket score in the team. So the Titans, it is your turn this week. Now, they could be brave. They could stand up a little bit. Titans, again, another one of those teams that might stick in for that first 15, 20, 30 minutes, but after that, they're just going to get pounded. Particularly Greg Margie's back playing like he was last week. But the Knights, they've just become such a fun team to watch. Maybe it's because I enjoy just watching them score bulk tries and just scoring again and again and again and going after it. But yeah, they've got a couple of guys that might even be a sniff Origin as well. And I'm going to go with big Greggy Marju to score again this week. So they'll be fucking, 6 tries in 2 games. Whew. All right, moving on. Second last one. Warriors versus Broncos. Of course, I'm going to go with my Brisbane Broncos. I'm going to go 1-12, but not going to lie, this one is a little bit scary. Probably a lot scarier than a lot of the games that we've been playing in the last few weeks. The Warriors, I rate them so highly this year, particularly their forward pack. I dare say it's probably the best forward pack. Biggest, most aggressive, just fucking output machine. And we're missing all of our big boys. Now, one thing that I do love, big Xavier Williamson's moving from the edge back into the centre. We need that. Preston Ricky, another big body. So I reckon if we can match them at least a little bit, start to get big Tolty, the legs coming through. All Blacks Tarfo is another one I feel like that we're really going to need this week. Look, we could be in for a shot. The Broncos, well and truly, could be in for a shot. I know it's going to be a steep task, but they can do it, that's for sure. Now, I believe as well, the last time that we played the Warriors was in the 2023 preliminary finals. I was at that game actually, went out there and fucking dusted them. So I'd like to see a replay of that. Thank you very much. But the Warriors, like, this is essentially a home game for them. We're playing at Suncorp. Like, if there's any other team that can match us at Suncorp, it's going to be the Warriors. Their fans are going to be there. They're going to be firing. And I love the Warriors as well. Like I said, if the Broncos never existed, I would be a Waz fan for sure. But, yeah, it's gonna be a fun one in this one. It is gonna be fun. I don't know if the Warriors are gonna quite run away with it like they think they will. Maybe I've just got rose-colored glasses on and hoping for the best here, but I don't know. The Warriors, like, the amount of times that you think they're gonna go out there and absolutely touch up a team, and it just doesn't go that way. And if there's a team that can match them, it is going to be the Broncos. So, particularly getting Adam Reynolds back. I love that we get Reno back. He can kick him to death. We got Tom Duffy there if we need him. We got Dozer on the bench. Mini Air Coates makes his debut, so if anything like Xavier Coates, that's going to be great. I dare say he's probably fast as fuck, so I'm interested to see that. Actually, it might be worthwhile chucking him down for a little meat pie, a little cutout ball from Reese. There you go, thanks for coming. But yeah, again, Reno coming back through. Like, you just seen in those couple games, his ability to just, like, snuff teams out with his kicking game. So that's what I'm really hoping for. No, what's his name? Luke Metcalf. I don't know if any of that noise around Luke Metcalf's going to disturb the Warriors at all. I'm not too sure. Some people might not be too happy to see him going. And Reece Walsh, obviously, to score anytime. All right, last but not least, I need to put on a black uniform because this game is truthfully going to be a funeral. We might see one of the all-time Rugby League scores put on this game. So, Penrith Panthers versus Dragons, the last game to close things up on Magic Round. Oof, it doesn't get any easier for Dragons fans at this stage. Dissipate players, they can just go to other clubs because, yeah, I feel like we're going to see an actual Rugby League fisting occur here. It's not going to be pretty at all. I think Kyle Flanagan's back as well, so Dragons fans, I'm sure, are going to be over the moon about that. And yeah, they've got a couple of injuries. It's just, I don't know. It's almost cruel. It is almost cruel what Penrith are most likely going to do to them. In saying that, I'm going to get on them. I think they're paying like $11 or something like that. And I swear, anytime a team has been like this high in odds, this ridiculous. And I think it's even happened to Penrith before where they've just had these teams. It might have even been the Tigers that went out and beat them sometime. Like, when you see odds like that, you get on it. You can't say no. You got to do it. It'd be rude not to, basically. So, but yeah, I feel like Panthers are going to have an all-time game against them. I'm definitely going to be captaining Nathan Cleary, my super coach. That he might get the biggest super coach score of all time. I'm very keen to see it. And I'm going to go with Isaiah Papali'i to score any time in this one. So, yeah, what do you even say? It's just going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal, and I got a great video lined up for that game as well. So, yeah, but that's pretty much it for this week. Yeah, massive, so much content coming out, guys. So make sure you are following as usual. I appreciate all the support, and I'll catch you guys next week.